When I bought 1,600 acres just outside a newly built subdivision, I wanted one thing: peace. My name is Jack Morrison, and after 20 years in construction, I finally retired. Instead of buying a beach house, I invested in a large piece of rolling countryside just beyond the edge of a growing neighborhood. The property had open meadows, a small lake, thick woods, and miles of old ranch roads. Best of all, it wasn't part of the HOA. I checked every survey, every county record, and every title document before signing the purchase papers. Everything was clear, or so I thought. About 3 weeks after moving in, I found an envelope taped to my front gate. It was from the HOA. Inside was a letter welcoming me to the community, along with an invoice for annual dues and a long list of neighborhood rules. There was just one problem. I wasn't in their neighborhood. I drove to the HOA office the next morning. The president, Linda Harrison, greeted me with a smile. "Congratulations on your new property," she said. "Now let's get your membership paperwork completed." I slid my deed across the table. "I'm not inside your HOA." She barely glanced at it. "Everyone surrounding the subdivision benefits from our services." I replied, "Benefits don't create ownership." She insisted my property should contribute because I used the same county road leading to the subdivision entrance. I reminded her the road belonged to the county, not the HOA. She didn't seem interested in that detail. Over the next several months, I received more invoices, late fees, violation notices, even fines for refusing to attend HOA meetings. I ignored everyone. Eventually, I received something much more serious: a lawsuit. The HOA claimed my ranch had legally become part of their community because my entrance road connected near their subdivision. My attorney couldn't believe it. He smiled while reading the complaint. "They've made a very expensive mistake." The county record showed my property had been established decades before the subdivision even existed. Not only that, the developer who built the neighborhood had intentionally excluded my land from the HOA boundaries during the original planning process. There were signed plats, recorded surveys, approved county maps. Everything was documented. During discovery, another surprising fact came to light. The HOA had already been warned by its own legal advisor not to file the lawsuit. Those emails became part of the court record. The judge carefully reviewed every document. At the hearing, the HOA argued that including my property would improve neighborhood appearance and property values. The judge asked a simple question: "Can you point to any recorded document placing this land inside your association?" Silence. After several moments, the HOA attorney admitted, "No, Your Honor." The judge dismissed the case. Then he ruled that because the lawsuit lacked legal support, the HOA would be responsible for paying much of the legal costs allowed under the applicable rules. The financial impact was significant. Several planned HOA projects had to be postponed while the association addressed the unexpected expense. Residents began asking difficult questions. Why had the board ignored its own legal advice? Why spend community funds on a lawsuit with no recorded evidence? At the next board election, several directors were voted out. A new board took over and adopted a simple policy: before taking legal action, verify the facts. A few weeks later, I received a letter from the new board. It wasn't another invoice. It was an apology. They acknowledged that my ranch had never been part of the HOA and confirmed that no future membership requests or assessments would be sent. These days, my mornings are exactly what I hoped for: coffee on the porch, deer crossing the meadow, the sound of wind through the trees instead of arguments over rule books. Buying land outside the HOA wasn't just a real estate decision. It was a reminder that clear property records matter and that assumptions are no substitute for facts. If you enjoyed this fictional HOA story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. What would you have done if an HOA tried to claim land that wasn't part of a community?